My name's J.R. Hughes, and I've just recently retired. I was a healthcare executive. My last position was in business development, working with startups, and I've been really involved and very passionate around the area of member engagement, helping healthcare institutions such as payers, Blue Cross plans, national plans like United Healthcare, et cetera, engage members. But decided that it was time to get off airplanes and what I would call semi-retire. I'm still helping some individuals and some companies, and obviously as part of the program here as a mentor. I started my career in sales and really progressed from sales to sales management into general management and then to executive leadership positions. And I feel really blessed. I have worked with some really good Fortune 50 companies. Started my career with IBM. I spent time with United Healthcare, and then I led some business units with McKesson. On the other end of the spectrum, I've also had a passion and worked with two different startups, one of which I was an executive and was part of the process of taking that company, merging it with another privately held company, and then going public during kind of the internet heyday. So I've kind of been on both sides, small and large organizations, and kind of worked through a variety of different disciplines into a leadership position. You know, I joined the program for several different reasons, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day. They said, well, you know, did you do it to kind of give back or pay forward? And, you know, it brought some thought to mind. And I said, no, I did it because it was the right thing. You know, it brings a lot of energy to me, quite frankly, in working with young men and women that are kind of taking a step from what I would call a formal, structured classroom environment and starting to move out and look at where their passions are and to be part of that process and coach them. And that coaching I found has been anywhere from very tactical, looking at a resume, giving some advice before the call, to the entire process and kind of helping to navigate that and providing feedback. I think the program, Harbor Connects itself, has done a really good job. You know, when I've talked to people about it, sometimes I only think of the technical platform. So like LinkedIn, the Harbor Connects platform, but it's really more than that. Obviously it's mentors and mentees, but if you look at the OPCD, the advisors, the professors, it really does become an Auburn family from that perspective. In working with students, my absolute favorite part is when the light goes on in their mind that they really truly understand the process and know the steps that they're taking and are confident that they're going to get to the end of the path of getting that first job offer. When that light clicks, it's so fun for me because I talk about it from day one all the way through the process. And I've got a term that I use with every student, and I talk about understanding their DNA. The D really stands for differentiation. You know, how do they differentiate yourself from others, not only in the program, but people that are competing from other colleges for these jobs? And it's easy if you're a 4.0 student and have a scholarship, and you know, you're going to get those interviews with Georgia Pacific. But if you're not, you have to continue to find ways to differentiate yourself in a positive way. The N is networking. That's certainly something we preach, you know, not only at the school itself and through the program, but you know, how do they go about the tactical way of networking? Because it's hard, they're gonna have rejection, but it's really, really important. Then the A is action and accountability. That if they're going to really engage in this program, they have to have somebody they're accountable to and say, you know what, I made my 3 calls today, I sent this letter out, I did these types of things. So that accountability and action is really the anchor for the DNA. And that's, to me, fun. When they get that, they start to follow along, they get feedback. when I'm getting texts, Friday afternoon late, hey, would you take a look at this, cover letter I'm going to send out, etc. And so that's worked out really well, and I enjoy that.